From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Spider-Man: No Way Home is a 2021 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Spider-Man, co-produced by Columbia Pictures and Marvel Studios and distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing. It is the sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming, 2017, and Spider-Man: Far From Home, 2019, and the 27th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. The film was directed by Jon Watts and written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers. It stars Tom Holland as Peter Parker/Spider-Man alongside Zendaya, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jacob Batalon, Jon Favreau, Jamie Foxx, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, Benedict Wong, Tony Revolori, Marisa Tomei, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. In the film, Parker asks Dr. Stephen Strange, Cumberbatch, to use magic to make his identity as Spider-Man a secret again following its public revelation at the end of Far From Home. When the spell goes wrong, the multiverse is broken open, which allows visitors from alternate realities to enter Parker's universe. A third MCU Spider-Man film was planned during the production of Homecoming in 2017. Negotiations between Sony and Marvel Studios to alter their deal in which they produce the Spider-Man films together ended with Marvel Studios leaving the project in August 2019, but a negative fan reaction led to a new deal between the companies a month later. Watts, McKenna, Summers, and Holland were set to return, and filming took place from October 2020 to March 2021 in New York City and Atlanta. No Way Home features several actors reprising their roles from non-MCU Spider-Man films directed by Sam Raimi and Mark Webb, including previous Spider-Man actors Maguire and Garfield. The involvement of both actors was the subject of wide speculation and numerous leaks despite the efforts of Sony, Marvel, and the cast to conceal their involvement. Spider-Man: No Way Home premiered at the Fox Village Theater in Los Angeles on December 13, 2021, and was theatrically released in the United States on December 17, as part of Phase 4 of the MCU. The film received positive reviews from critics, who praised the story, direction, action sequences, and the cast's performances and chemistry. No Way Home has grossed over $1.8 billion worldwide, surpassing its predecessor as the highest-grossing film released by Sony Pictures. It became the highest-grossing film of 2021, the sixth highest-grossing film of all time, the highest-grossing Spider-Man film, and set several other box office records, including those for films released during the COVID-19 pandemic. The film received numerous awards and nominations, including a nomination for Best Visual Effects at the 94th Academy Awards. A sequel is in development. Plot: after Quentin Beck frames Peter Parker for his murder and reveals Parker's identity as Spider-Man N1 Parker, his girlfriend MJ Watson, best friend Ned Leeds, and Aunt May are interrogated by the Department of Damage Control. Lawyer Matt Murdock gets Parker's charges dropped, but the group grapples with negative publicity. After Parker, MJ, and Ned's MIT applications are rejected, Parker goes to the New York Sanctum to ask Stephen Strange for help. Strange casts a spell that would make everyone forget Parker is Spider-Man, but it is corrupted when Parker repeatedly requests alterations to let his loved ones retain their memories. Strange contains the spell to stop it and makes Parker leave. Parker tries to convince an MIT administrator to reconsider MJ and Ned's applications but is attacked by Otto Octavius. Octavius rips Parker's nanotechnology from his iron spider suit, which bonds with his mechanical tentacles and allows Parker to disable them. As Norman Osborn arrives and attacks, Strange teleports Parker back to the Sanctum and locks Octavius in a cell next to Curt Connors. Strange explains that before he could contain the corrupted spell, it summoned people from other universes who know Spider-Man's identity. He orders Parker, MJ, and Ned to find and capture them. They locate and retrieve Max Dillon and Flint Marko. Osborn reclaims control of himself from his split Green Goblin personality. He goes to a FEAST building, where May comforts him before Parker retrieves him. While discussing their battles with Spider-Man, Osborn, Octavius and Dylan realize that they were pulled from their universes just before their deaths, and Strange prepares to reverse the contained spell and send the villains back to their respective universes, but Parker argues that they should first cure the villains' powers and insanity to prevent their deaths upon their return. Parker steals the spell, traps Strange in the mirror dimension, and, with May, takes the villains to Happy Hogan's apartment. He cures Octavius, but Osborn's goblin persona takes control and convinces the uncured villains to betray Parker. As Dylan, Marco, and Connors escape, the goblin fatally injures May. Before she dies, May tells Parker that with great power, there must also come great responsibility. Ned discovers that he can create portals using Strange's sling ring, which he and MJ use to try to locate Parker. They instead find alternate versions of Parker from the villains' universes who were also summoned by Strange's spell and who are nicknamed Peter 2 and Peter 3. The group finds this universe's Parker, nicknamed Peter 1, who is ready to give up and send the villains home to die. The alternate Parkers share stories of losing loved ones and encourage Peter 1 to fight in May's honor, and the three Parkers develop cures for the villains. The group lure Dylan, Marco, and Connors to the Statue of Liberty. Peter 1 and Peter 2 cure Connors and Marco while Octavius arrives to help cure Dylan, and Ned frees Strange from the mirror dimension with a portal. The goblin appears and unleashes the contained spell, which begins pulling more people in from other universes. Strange attempts to hold them off while an enraged Peter 1 tries to kill the goblin. Peter 2 stops him and Peter 3 helps Peter 1 inject the goblin with his cure, restoring Osborn's sanity. Peter 1 realizes that the only way to protect the multiverse is to erase himself from everyone's memory and requests that Strange do so, while promising MJ and Ned that he will find them again. The spell is cast and everyone returns to their respective universes, including Eddie Brock N3, who unknowingly leaves behind a piece of the Venom symbiote. 2 weeks later, Parker visits MJ and Ned to reintroduce himself, but he decides against it. While mourning at May's grave, he has a conversation with Hogan and is inspired to carry on, making a new suit and resuming his vigilantism.